Bum, 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 bum.
Being an asshole isn't really gender specific. You just are or you're not.
You needed any kind of weight. When he comes, your workout is over.
Yeah, glance at it because you can't control your eyes all the time.
It's okay, I can live with that.
Oh my god, why? Welcome back to Naked Ninjas. Straight into it, what we're gonna talk about.
Gym, and all of the people we hate, because obviously it's January, it's February, all of the resolutions and gyms are overcrowded, as popular as ever. So yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah, so are we talking about just the people we hate in gyms?
Let's start with people we hate, because that's a fruitful topic.
I think most of the time you just hate people in the gym. But yeah, the most annoying types of people when you go and you exercise and you have limited time for it. There's a bunch of them. Number one, the ones that I hate are the ones that hold up stations for way too long for no particular reasons, because they're staring at their damn phones.
Oh, that's the reason. That means to stare at the phone.
Yeah, they stare at the phones. They dance around it. And I had a guy today in the gym who took out the machine for like 25 minutes. And that's the only...
Which machine?
It was the hamstring curl machine. And right now, it's the only one in the gym.
In third space.
So it's like a massive, expensive gym here in London. And like 3 floors. And the only hamstring curl machine. But, you know, all the machines look very Instagrammable, but it's not very functional. Anyway, that becomes a rant about my particular gym. But yeah, people take out the machines and stations for way too long when they really don't need to. You don't need, most of the time, 5-minute recovery before things. And even if you do, space it out in a way that other people can use
awareness.
The single machine which is out there, even if it's your main day for training it, maybe come back to it again after a 10-minute break. Just don't be an asshole and take out something that everyone wants to use.
First one.
Yeah.
Second one, people who throw weights of all weight themselves, any genders, all ages, they all do that. People who smash the weight into the ground.
Yeah, they do that. And always it's the guys who really want to be alpha, and they just, the guys who, sometimes they're quite big and quite ripped, but oh my god, why? That doesn't make you look cooler. That doesn't make you look stronger. It just annoys everyone. It just annoys the fuck out of everyone, because it's very loud. Sometimes it bounces. A few times they almost landed on my foot, and that could mean, considering that they often try it with the weights which they shouldn't be lifting, so way too heavy. If that kind of dumbbell falls on your foot, you might have quite a few bruises or breaks in it, which is going to take you out for a very long time. Then again, if you're in the middle of doing the exercise near someone who's dropping a massive barbell next to you, let's say you're doing your squats and someone's dropping like a massive barbell right next to you on the station there, it might, jiggle your balance a little bit, give you a trauma as well. Also, just simply distracting. There are people who do rows and they just release the weights at the end. Why don't you just put them back?
Because they're cool, they're big, and they don't care.
That's not cool. Even I have nice cancelling earbuds. And
they do shit for this.
With that, it actually almost breaks them, because they can't handle that frequency of metal on metal sound. And they don't do absolute shit. And usually it also is accompanied by this grunting or sex noises that some of those guys make.
Oh no, that's a different category, the sex noise. Let's not, because we're not finished on the second, because you know me, I'm all for gender equality.
Yeah.
So sometimes those are males, like alpha males, but not always, friends. There are women, and not really alpha women, but it doesn't really matter in this context. So at Barry's boot camp, there was a girl. She wasn't fit, but that doesn't matter in this context. She had really, really tiny weights. I mean, for her lower body, I think she had 5s or 4s, and she was smashing them every single time, and they were obviously bouncing, not just once. They were bouncing thrice, and they would always bounce to kind of my territory. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Basically, every time, boom, 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 landed on my territory every single time, the whole 60 minutes.
Yeah, and especially if you're in a busy class, and for those who's never been to Barry's boot camp, it is a place which is usually packed, and you have very narrow stations. So you have your running machines, I forgot, the treadmills, and your benches, and you have very limited space. So if someone keeps dropping the weights into your territory, that just takes out your training time because you have to move them and then
every single time.
Get to your stuff.
The whole hour.
You just want to slap those people. It's just so inconsiderate. Why are people so inconsiderate?
And there was a sign at Barry Boot Camp. There is actually a sign, don't smash your weights, literally in front of her.
Don't drop your weights, I guess. Yeah.
No, I think it said smash. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so not just guys, we're on full gender equality. Girls very much too.
Well, being an asshole isn't really gender specific. You just are or you're not. Yeah. And just dropping weights anywhere in the gym, unless you're in pain and you just like had a random pain and you have to release it, or again, if you are a power lifter, sometimes it's excusable simply because the weights are massive and that's the actual exercise. But again, be mindful of people who might be doing some other exercises near you, and maybe time it so you wouldn't be doing it at the same time. Just pure basic decency kind of here. I understand that you have to drop your weight in those particular cases, but yeah.
I don't know. How many of those people are power lifters? 1%.
Yeah, not many. And in some cases, it's just the guy is not doing any of those massive like strongman moves, but they just do their like normal exercises like deadlifts, and they just drop them for no freaking reason. If you have no control over your weight, so you can't just lower it back down, then maybe reduce your weight. It's not for you. Yeah.
Okay, so we have smashers with the third category.
Droppers, probably I would call them.
Probably the droppers. Yeah. The droppers. We have hoarders. Hoarders. Probably it's very applicable to the smaller gyms when you have just one of each. There is 110, like 2 10s, 2 15s, and so on. And they hoard on them. 7.5s, 10s, 12.5s, 15s, and they just lie around them. And they're on their phone. And to get anyone, well, you have to ask, which is kind of, you know, they are not always friendly. Sometimes they will just like snap on you. And also, you shouldn't be putting me in that position.
Yeah, shouldn't be in a position where you have to ask for weights, especially if they're limited. Yeah, hoarders are a real thing. It's less of a problem in my main gym because there's plenty of weights really for everyone. But if we go downstairs to our building gym, then it really becomes an issue. Or if you're traveling and you go to a hotel's gym, again, I've been there where you have like 20 minutes for a quick workout before you get on a work trip, so you gotta get and do stuff. And yeah, there is a hoarder there with all the weights, looking at their phone in the meantime, and like doing everything super slow. There were a few occasions that I would just say, man, you're not great. You should rethink how you treat people.
They take it very, very defensively, extremely. I've had to say something because I needed any kind of weight. Yeah, I was pretty much yelled at and everything.
Well, generally, if you're an asshole in one aspect, there is a good chance that you're the same in many aspects of your life.
Okay, wait, but how do we call the first category? The holders or
the holders? The space wasters?
The space wasters. We have the space wasters. We have droppers.
Or blockers. Maybe the first ones can be blockers.
We have droppers. We have hoarders. We have moaners.
Moaners.
There you go.
Moaners. I freaking hate moaners. It's like, I mean, really, I can understand when you're trying to do your PB, like personal best on the bench press or something, and you have another guy spotting you, and it really is your one big push, and you have to scream out because it's super hard, and it does help. I can understand that. But when you're doing your 4 sets of 10s, and you moan like a mother, on every yeah on on every single repetition. That's not helping anyone. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy to edit out on the microphone. I probably won't even bother. Yeah. But yeah, like why would you do that? I mean, again, if it's too hard for you, drop the weight. If you think it makes you sound or look cooler, it really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It annoys freaking everyone. And when the droppers and moaners are combined into one single individual, it becomes like particularly...
They can also be hoarders.
Particularly great. And they can be hoarders, yeah. But
and blocker.
come to think, it can be all... There are people who do everything, yeah. They combine all of those traits. But yeah, like I think the most frequent combination that I see are droppers and moaners are usually the same guys. So they drop the weight with a massive clang and they go alongside with it, and then while they were doing repetitions, they were also doing some weird noises, and you can see everyone just looking annoyed with them at them. But again, you don't want to waste your time coming to them just saying shut the fuck up.
Sometimes it's scary.
Well, yeah. You know,
to me.
Yeah, because some of those droppers and moaners are massive guys as well. Well, they're not going to attack you in the gym probably, but still not a pleasant confrontation when you come up to them and like you don't want to waste your time on confrontation anyway. When you go to the gym, if you're busy generally, you have a busy life, you have a very specific time that you can spend in the gym. You don't want to be spending it being stressed out and being in confrontation with someone. Yeah. People should not be putting you in the position where you have to be in confrontation with them. Yeah. That's on them. That means that they're shitheads.
And you know what? True moaners, they don't need to drop. They don't need a way to moan. You know, the guy in our building, he's a true moaner. He moans on every step. He moans on every single stretch. And so that starts with second one. He takes a stretch, he starts to moan. Basically, every movement he does is accompanied with the moan. And then sometimes he sings.
Yeah. He sings, he moans, and he does it so loudly that, again, the noise cancelling can't do shit with it. Yeah. Even like really good headphones like do not have the power to block him out. And if it's in a small space gym, you can't get away from him. Again, we have a sizable gym in our building, but you can't really get away from that guy. I hate that guy.
When he comes, your workout is over.
Yeah, you know, when he's there, like, that's not gonna go great. At some point, I'll probably tell him that it's not cool, but yeah, usually they don't get that don't take that feedback very well. Those people. Anytime I tried, it usually is a problem.
Yeah, it never ended well.
Yeah. But what else is there annoying in the gym?
To be honest, I can put up... There are some annoying puzzles. People not wiping their bench, but that's fine. I can wipe it. It's okay. I can live with that.
Oh, no, I know. The... what can I call it? The levers, I guess. Probably not a good word. But people who may be strong, good for them, and they lift shitloads of weights, plates. The abandoners. So they lift a bunch of weights on their machines. Let's say you do on the leg press machine. There are guys who like I'm so happy for you that you've trained so hard and you became so strong that you can have just push 300 kilos or whatever on a machine. Great, good for you. Yeah, sometimes it's more, I guess. But there are people with traumas. There are people with bad backs, with generally just not in that space.
Just smaller people.
After you finished using the machine, be so kind and take your plates down. Yeah, it's okay to leave like one on each side. Yeah, if someone needs more, they can put it back on. But if you abandon all of the weights, it means that someone have to take their time out of their workout to remove them just in order to be able to get to the exercise. Hate those guys as well. I mean, that doesn't make you cool.
No.
I'm pretty sure they live it just in the vain hope that some girl is going to look around and see that they've done those massive weights as they walk away.
Or a guy.
Yeah, or a guy,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and a few times I actually seen them looking. Those guys when they're moving
Oh.
away, like, yeah, is anyone looking at how strong I am? And they usually like make a pause, before the machine, and they just stretch their legs a little bit, like after this training,
Oh.
pat themselves out, and just waiting for someone to look at them impressed. Usually they just catch me looking at them annoyed. I think that's the main piece of feedback they get from the visitors. Yeah. But yeah, others are minor things like non-wipers, people who don't mind their space. I'm not sure how to call those, but like if you're doing your glute kickback, just maybe make sure that you're not smacking someone in the face with your heel. If there is a natural path between the machines, maybe don't swing into that, because you might smack someone in the face. Not everyone's like constantly going to be looking at what you're doing, which means also there is the opposite part is from time to time it's good to look around when you're moving between many people what actually is going on. So for instance, if I'm doing some balancing with the weight like a skull crusher or whatever, and someone just barges through and makes contact with my barbell, they can really twist your shoulder out, for instance. It's just there were a few times where people just make contact with your weight and you can wobble, and if you really, for instance, trying to lift something heavy, you can tear your bicep, for instance, just out of nowhere. That's rare, but not as often as moaners and droppers and all of those guys. For sure.
Invaders.
Invaders, I guess you can call them.
Invaders.
But for every like shitty person in the gym, there was a bunch of nice ones, I gotta say. There were
probably
people
20 to 1, 30 to 1 even.
Yeah, because there's often people who would offer to spot you sometimes when they see that you're struggling with the weight. There are people who would move away from move aside a little just to give you space to see yourself in the mirror as you're doing exercises, which again, there is an opposite part, the mirror huggers, I guess you can call them, because the guys who will always try to block the space when they don't need to in front of the mirror. Yeah, they see that you're behind them looking in the mirror, they have all the space and you were there first, but they will stand right in front of you and they'll do their exercise. Hate those guys. But again, there are others who do the other way around.
Yeah, it's just the ratio is like a 1 to 30, maybe even 1 to 40. But those people, I mean, they're very noticeable. Why we're actually talking about not just, to spread hate or anything. Maybe some of them truly don't realize they're doing that. If you're a hoarder, my friend, or a moaner, there is a chance that you have like this dark aura.
Yeah, if you believe that other people's thoughts may affect your energy or like life force, if you're a believer in any of that, or karma, whatever it might be, and you're not realizing that you're a moaner or a hoarder or a dropper in the gym, maybe reconsider how you approach this, because because there might be a massive just black hole of dark energy spinning around your head, because it annoys the shit out of people, and maybe no one just never told you.
Because they're scared of you.
Well, because maybe you're massive and ripped, and for instance, a small lady won't come to you and ask you to stop it simply because you're so physically imposing. Good for you, but don't be an asshole. A lot of muscle doesn't excuse the lack of personality and kindness towards other people, I would say. Yeah, rather underlines it. But yeah, those, I guess, are the most annoying archetypes of people in the gym. But I guess there was a bunch of people who impress me, though, in the gym on a constant basis. Probably a different conversation, but the more and more I'm more impressed by not like massively ripped people who lift massive weights, but people who do calisthenics and just
this is next level.
Have massive, like, incredible control of their body. It's like so impressive, the stuff that they do, and they're not always the biggest guys or girls. They're usually very lean, but just the stuff they can do in terms of balance, in terms of just control, is quite insane. But the popularity of that picks up. And for instance, I often see an older gentleman in my gym, probably 65 plus, and he does calisthenics. He does impressive shit, yeah, with his body weight and with some extra weights as well. Very, very cool. So very, very inspirational when I'm doing my normal whatever crunches, and like one day I'm gonna do that. But I never do.
let's touch in gym controversies.
Yeah.
If you saw, let's say hypothetically, and that happens, I guess, every day, someone who's doing something awfully wrong, like you can see they're gonna damage themselves, like, you know, especially with the deadlift, would you tell them or not?
If I'm really sure that they might hurt themselves in the next moment, I might. Yeah, I rarely see that. I see sometimes people where I think they are doing the wrong exercises, or like the form is bad. But I'm not a professional trainer by any means or forms. I need a professional trainer. So probably in majority of cases, no. For me, for instance, as well, that would probably annoy me more than I would be appreciative of it, because unless it's a personal trainer and he works.
That's no.
If it's
that's
his job,
yeah.
like he can come around and give a quick tip, I'd be appreciative of that, especially if the personal trainer looks way fitter than me. Because I've been in gyms where personal trainers look way worse than their clientele. But yeah, anyway, I probably not appreciate it because, again, he breaks your flow. He doesn't know your medical history, how the geometry of your joints work, because we all have slight different things. And also, you're not a professional.
Yeah.
Just for me, I would say that's a bad idea most of the time, unless you know your stuff, you've been training for many years, and someone just about to really hurt themselves, like they are putting too much weight, and you see them, they're struggling on the squat, for instance. Yeah, you can support them and then say maybe you just need to drop the weight because your form is like bad, you might injure your back. If you say it like that in that situation, I would appreciate that. But if I'm just doing rows a little wrong, and you feel so amazing about your rows that you thought it appropriate to come to me and make that comment.
Well, it can come from a good place, but...
It can, but it's just, I wouldn't, probably. Yeah, at least for me. Maybe I'm wrong. But it would be nice to hear in the comments if people agree with that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question, like, to your audience. Yeah, do you think it's appropriate? For me, I think 95%... no. And even speaking of personal trainers, I remember I was training them like a little gym, and I think it was actually the owner, or at least the manager, like a huge guy who's coming by. And I was doing my recovery. My recovery was butterfly sit-ups, but this was my recovery.
Yeah.
And he was like, those are good, but you know, you can also try to twist, like, this is my recovery. Like, yeah, thank you, bye. I would say maybe in 5%, if I saw someone who's truly desperate and they're literally looking around trying to make eye contact, I would probably come and say, can I help? But you need to have this eye contact, and you need to some kind of cry for help. Even
some
if
kind
it's
of
silent.
invitation to approach. Yeah. Like pretty much, I guess, if you see someone you like, not in the gym, I mean generally, you want to approach them when you made an eye contact and there's some kind of invitation there, right? Or at least perceived invitation. Similar here, you don't want to just impose yourself on people if they're not looking for help. But for instance, I would probably do this if someone's struggling to understand how the machine works, and you can see that. I'd probably say, yeah, that's how you do it quickly, and that's it. Yeah, but otherwise,
you would probably
not.
get snapped at.
No, I've done
I
it
would,
before.
because it's like sometimes it just takes time to figure it out, but you want to figure it out on your own. And it's say it's an empty gym, kind of half empty, so there's no
Yeah,
queue to that machine.
yeah.
So sometimes I struggle because I don't do a lot of machines, but it just takes me 5 minutes to figure it out. So if someone came like, oh, this horse well, like,
Well, if they came with,
Yeah.
then maybe.
oh, I would be annoyed because I was
You can
close to
do it
figuring it
nicely.
out. I didn't ask you, so that could be also you could get snapped at.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think there's many really gym controversies or big themes there.
I have a second one. If you like someone, like you really like someone, you're single, is it okay to try, to introduce yourself? Is the gym good place for that?
No, terrible place for it. I mean, unless you really feel like you're in love from the first sight and you just can't contain yourself, then maybe wait until the person is just recovering, standing around, looking at their phone. Yeah, and then maybe you just want to approach and tell them that you appreciate how they look and could you like get a number or meet them outside or ask to meet them outside, whatever it may be.
Offer to buy protein shake.
Offer to buy a protein shake is a great approach, I guess. Generally, approaching people in the gym seems creepy to me, but but otherwise, again, people in the gym are not there to date, I would say, most of the time, especially people who look fit. It means that they carved out time out of their busy, most likely schedule and they have, let's say, 45 minutes to do this workout. And they are focusing on their form, on how they move, all of those kind of things. It's not just not the right time.
Yeah, 95%.
You're stealing their time, breaking their focus, and probably you're not doing yourself any favors either because they're just not in that headspace. Probably most people. At least to me, that's how it feels. Yeah, maybe there are people who go to the gym to find like people to date or whatever, but I'd say that's probably a minority.
Oh, I agree. But I think you need to, first of all, if you're going to approach someone in a gym, I think you need to feel really, really strongly about it. Like this, and you need to be so smooth, and the timing needs to be impeccable. Never approach someone when they're in the middle of exercise. They're going to drop it on you.
Yeah, in the middle of exercise is simply dangerous. But yeah, if you really... And it's okay, you can be smitten and you're like, I'm going to be kicking myself if I don't do this. Just wait a little bit until they're just in the recovery, and that's fine then. And people appreciate people with, who are not crazy people. They would appreciate when you tell them that they look great or that all of their hard work in the gym is really paying off.
That's different. A compliment.
Then you can ask them out. But yeah, of course, we live in the times thankfully they're changing, where approaching, for instance, a girl in the gym, even during recovery, and telling her she looks nice might land you as a sex offender in a way. Thank God this is changing, right? Because it a lot of the time is just unreasonable. I'm sure there are creeps out there who really harassing girls in the gym and so on, and being really creepy about it. But in majority of cases, the guys are just might be a little nervous when they speak. They might not be super smooth, and they approach you nicely during the break and give you a compliment. You don't have to be like super annoyed about it.
It depends how you being approached. I was approached in a very creepy way, like I'm trying to like, hi, what are you doing this evening? I stopped being a member of that gym.
Yeah. If it's not creepy, if like maybe it's not super smooth, but the guy is nice, maybe just you don't have to go on a date with him, but just let him down a little easier. But yeah, there was this massive trend during the heightness of the woke time is when girls were posting those videos on TikTok where they would be filming guys who barely looked at them. They were just were glancing around the gym, probably looking for weights. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? Why are you staring at me? Are you a creep? And so on and so forth, and trying to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, but you
And
you have to look somewhere.
you have to look. You have to look somewhere. And excuse me, if you're wearing barely any clothes, and you are bending over with the weights to the camera,
I would look at it.
yeah. Anyone would look at it. I mean, okay, so you have boring, well, not boring, but generally gym is not like stuff where you go for aesthetic pleasure of your surroundings most of the time, unless it's people. Yeah. So the only interesting thing in the gym to look at are people. And if you're not wearing any clothes and you are bending over in front of the straight guy or bisexual or whatever woman, whatever it might be, you can be expected, you should expect that someone's gonna look at it. Yeah. Or at least glance at it, because you can't control your eyes all the time. And if you're doing it on purpose to show off, and then you not trying to accuse anyone of something, of being red-blooded male or female, that's weird.
No, just having eyes, literally just having.
Yeah, just having eyes, really.
Eyes.
Yeah, and an attention span, of whatever. So if you're just showing off, good for you. Show it off and be ready that people might glance at your assets in one way or another. Yeah, don't be again an asshole. But thank God that trend is going away. There's been enough of content on the other side where people would be making fun of those girls, and most of the time in a very light-hearted manner. So I think the good is winning this fight. Thank God, and this outrage culture, including the one in the gym, is going away, which is a lovely thing to think of. Anyway, I think that's it for this topic. Let us know in the comments, please, what you think about this. Who are the most annoying people in the gym? Who are the people in the gym that inspire you? And whether you
would you like to be approached by someone in a gym?
Would you like to be approached for a date or just a quick one-night stand in the gym? Again, that can happen.
Maybe we don't know something.
Yeah, maybe we don't quite realize it, and gym is a great place to date. Anyway, any comments would be appreciated. Otherwise, please leave a like and check out the podcast on any platforms where it's available. Thank you so much.
Thank you.